plus this.
Something for us to certainly reflect on and set a record for really what, I hate to say, human evil is capable of.
A Virginia school district once again making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Wait until you hear what one board member called evil at a recent meeting. Virginia's Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears is here with her reaction.
A Virginia school board, already under fire for withholding prestigious academic awards from students, is now facing another controversy after a board member claimed in a recent meeting that a decisive victory for the United States in World War II was, quote, unfortunate and evil. Let's bring in Virginia's Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. She's with us this afternoon. So this board member is Abrar Omeish. She was commenting on the battle for Jima, in which 7,000 U.S. Marines died to take the island back from the Japanese. Here's what she said at that school board meeting. Listen here.
Thing for us to certainly reflect on as we learn our history and think about it. The days when, Iwo Jima unfortunately happened and set a record for really what, I hate to say, human evil is capable of. And so that's something just to remember.
The Battle of Iwo Jima was a turning point in World War II that saved tens of thousands of U.S. service members' lives by getting them back from the Japanese. What do you say, Lieutenant Governor, about what she said?
My heart is heavy because we need leaders who bring people together. They don't divide. We need leaders who let the wounds, the scabs of the past heal so we're not at each other's throats. What she has said is nothing but division, and it's dangerous. And words mean something. Words matter. And a leader ought to know that. She's a political leader, make no mistake about it, because she was elected to the school board. And yes, she is young, but she should know better.
Yeah.
During that battle, the battle for Iwo Jima was the bloodiest battle that Marines had ever faced. 1/3 of all Marines who died in World War II died in that Pacific theater in that battle. And we had women who died and served. We had Navajo code talkers who the Japanese were after because they couldn't break the code. We had Latinos and Black Marines who served, and we had other military branches. She owes the families of these men and women who served an apology. I would tell her, get thee there very quickly to a microphone and apologize.
There was a lot of heroes, obviously, in the battle for Iwo Jima. One of them was Woody Williams, who was a Medal of Honor recipient for gallantry and intrepidity. You recently received the Woody Williams Spirit Award from the Iwo Jima Association. Abrar Omeish, made these comments in conjunction with the Day of Remembrance the Japanese Americans observed to remember what happened to many of them during World War II when they were interned in prison camps. The U.S. Congress said that was a mistake. It gave reparations to everyone who was interned in those camps. We teach that in school here in America. But to teach or to think that an educator would call the battle for Iwo Jima evil seems to be a horse of a completely different color.
And this is why we don't have time to waste on ideologues and ideologies. We need our children to learn actual history. We need them to learn about the Japanese internment camps for sure. We need to learn about all the bad things that has happened. America is not a perfect country by any stretch of the imagination, but she's the best we have, and you know that because people are dying, literally dying to come here, even now. And we've got to have leaders who say, not anymore. We are going to talk about the sins of the past, but we're not going to put them on our children who never experienced them. We want our children to have a country where we're living together in peace and in harmony. And she also used the Holocaust as a correlation of what happened, that's what the Marines were engaging in. It is not. The Holocaust was about Hitler and his cronies and et al., the annihilation of the Jews. Yeah. What the Marines were trying to do was to liberate, to bring peace. How dare she do that?
Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, it's always good to get your thoughts on the big issues of the day. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
This is a really, really great question that Winsome Sears raised. How dare she do that? How dare she do that? Let me explain to you how she does that and why she does that. All right. So So if you don't know already, my name's Asra Nomani, and I'm a former reporter for the Wall Street Journal. For the last 20 years, I've been investigating this thing that I call the woke army, the red-green alliance that is destroying America's freedoms. Abrar Omeish is Exhibit A in the woke army. All right, let me explain to you why. Abrar Omeish is the daughter of Issam Omeish, one of the founders of Dar al-Hijra Mosque. He himself directly, personally, hired Anwar al-Awlaki, known as the Al-Qaeda Imam, to preach at Dar al-Hijra Mosque just down the road from me on Route 7. It's called the 9/11 Mosque because hijackers prayed there. Anwar al-Awlaki ended up fleeing to Yemen and was killed in a drone strike by President Barack Obama because he was instigating violence against Americans. Abrar Omeish is the daughter of the Muslim Brothers in America who want to support Islamic theocracy in their home nations and a puritanical interpretation of Islam here in the United States. I've been thrown out of her father's mosque because I, as a woman, dared to walk in through the front door and go into the main hall. So the imam at the time called the police on us, and Fairfax County Police came and told us that we had to leave. Abrar Omeish was elected by this lobby. Her political contributions come from the Muslim lobby here in Fairfax County, Virginia, that have also supported Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. And they have hijacked the Democratic Party, and the leftist activists in the United States are working with them, ironically, in this unholy alliance. What happened with the Iwo Jima remark is what we call moral inversion. It has happened so many times in propaganda related to the Israeli-Palestinian issue, and that is at the heart of the attack by the woke army on educational systems too, on the Islamists, because they want a curriculum in the United States of America that bashes Israel. And why do I know this? Because in 2019, I was at a fundraiser for the American Muslims for Palestine organization, very anti-Israel, very anti-Semitic, and who came forward but Abrar Omeish to raise money. And why? She said she would have a hand in a $3 billion budget, and she would be able to define curriculum on Israel and Islam. And what is that she wants to teach? On the 9/11 anniversary last year, she refused to support, she voted against a resolution supporting the 9/11 first responders. And she supported education being put forward by, not last year, but the year before, by the Virginia Education Secretary and the Muslim lobby right here, rooted in Fairfax County, Virginia, that was teaching teachers to discuss the 9/11 attack as having been done not by terrorists. They were very clear that they did not want to call the hijackers terrorists because it would hurt the feelings of Muslim students. Well, Muslim students most benefit when we deal honestly with the issue of Islamic extremism, because Muslims are also a casualty of Islamic extremism. So Abrar Omeish, what she has done, her entire intention and objective is to turn upside down our memory of history and our recollection of history, so that first responders are no longer heroes, so that the Marines are now the aggressors in World War II. Everything that is confusing about what she said is intentional. And who were some of the first people that supported her? It's the other part of this axis. It was the leftist activists in the LGBTQ community in Fairfax County, Virginia, a man by the name of Robert Rigby, who runs an organization called Fairfax Pride, which ironically, I smile, the Muslim lobby want to criminalize and consider moral criminals, you know? So that's the irony of this unholy alliance. And what we have to do is be aware, educate yourself, and inoculate yourself so that you know there's tactics and there's strategies. All right, you guys, thank you. Read the book, go to Amazon.com and you can get it. And I lay out for you exactly how this woke army operates and why Abrar Omeish is one of their lieutenants in the trenches. All right, you guys, stay strong.